How'd you like it?
Obviously, we got to clean up the ball security issues. That's the first and biggest thing. You want to correct your mistakes. I thought that was the biggest negative, obviously, today. That anybody who didn't think special teams affects the game just has to watch our football game. We got 14 points off a punt return, and we recovered a fumble and scored right away. And then they got 10 points because we fumbled and they kicked a field goal, and then we fumbled and they scored a touchdown. So. Obviously special teams had a huge impact for us in both a positive and a negative way, and we just got to kind of clean up the negative and keep building on the positive. The return game I thought was, the kickoff return game I thought was excellent. Obviously obvious after the second kickoff, they didn't kick to us anymore. They just sky kicked, and obviously we had some answers to that. Unfortunately, we got a review, the official replay of the first penalty, and they reevaluated things and said that was actually a legal block. So that's something to build on. Obviously, the punt return game, you got to give the majority of the credit to Ace and our guys holding him up. But like I've told you guys before, you got to have a good returner, but then you have to also have 10 guys blocking for him, and that's what we had. Guys giving great effort. Our coverage units I thought were solid. Other than the one, bad punt by Joey, which obviously everybody's obvious to see. I thought he punted nice for the day, but his biggest thing is just building on consistency. I thought Jay Wooten did a great job. He had 3 touchbacks, and put the ball where we wanted to put it. So overall, there was a lot to coach off of, both positively and negatively, and. It's right about where, you take the 2 takeaways away, turnovers we had, it's right about where I thought it would be.
What do you think about Brandon Boykin, very dangerous return guy? He kind of ruled the game 2 years ago. What have you heard?
Yeah, I've studied a lot of film on him. I thought he had more than 4 kickoff returns for touchdowns, because I swear I saw him on film. I swear I saw about 6 or 7. He must have had some called back. I mean, that kid can fly. We got a challenge this week. We got a challenge coming, going down there, and that's a huge weapon for them. I mean, that's field position for them, and anytime he touches the ball, he can take that thing to the house unquestioned. So, we got a challenge in our coverage units. I see he's listed as a punt returner as well. So, but that's why you play at this level. We got some pretty good players too.
Do you understand what you said correctly? The penalty on Marcus was determined to be a
No, the penalty on the kickoff return, the one they called on Quinn Smith. It was a 50-50 call, and it's a tough call in the heat of the battle. But he ended up with his head right on the shoulder pad, which is if you don't see it right away, it looks like a block in the back.
Ace will keep that starting punt return job.
Ace will be back there this week. Yep.
So I guess Bruce will be the main kickoff guy, and of course Ace mentioned will be the main.
Yeah, Bruce did a nice job. Obviously, Kenny's back there, Sean's back there. DJ. The only reason DJ didn't go back there, his hamstring tweaked a little bit. We needed him. We knew we were going to have to play a lot of plays on defense, but DJ's back there too. So we got some good options.
I was going to ask you, the defensive coaches come to you and ask you not to use DJ?
No.
Because of the injury factor? Or?
No, I mean, I'm one of the defensive coaches too, so I'm smart enough to realize we have, our numbers are limited in the secondary, and, we got to do what's best for the football team as a whole, not what's best for, our kickoff return team. And he was disappointed by it, but it was just a decision we made to, just do what's in the best interest of all of us.
How about the coverage units in terms of both punt and kickoff coverage?
Well, the punt units were good. They had 1 return. We were averaging 0 yards per return, which, like I said, we had an unfortunate penalty that cost us about 35 yards of field position. Our kickoff coverage unit could be better. I thought it was okay. I think we need to cover with more intensity and more physicality, but, we can build on that.
Joey's still going to punt for you?
Yeah.
Did you feel like
Joey be punting? He did a nice job. 4 out of his 5 punts were excellent. The one he had, unfortunately, was, a terrible one. And that's just where he's at right now. And we got to get him to the point where consistently he can go 4 for 4, or 5 for 5, or 6 for 6. And, the punt right before that went 47 yards and was like a 4-6 hang time. And then the next one right after that, because of the penalty, was, what did they go, 14 yards? I mean, so, that's football.
Is that a teaching tool, though, that a penalty can really kind of hurt you?
Well, it's a penalty. Penalties cost us 95 yards of field position. It cost us 57 yards on the kickoff return. It cost us 16 yards, I believe, on the first punt return. We had a block in the back. And then it cost us, what I think it calculated to be 33 yards on that punt. So adding that all together, it was in the 90s. So that's a huge tip, for the guys to see that, that affected points on our part too. So.
You think obviously Coach Spurrier mentioned many times, even before you got here, about the fact that they never scored a special teams touchdown. All of a sudden, your first game, you get one. So what did Coach Spurrier tell you after the game?
He said congratulations, and I told him hopefully that's the first of many. It was like the question everybody asked, when are you going to score one? I said as soon as possible. Everybody already is asking me when we're going to score the next one. I'll say as soon as possible. So.
Did you get a game ball?
They congratulated me after the game, so it was nice. that was not me. I mean, that's the players. I just coach.
Is communication a factor? You play your first road game, your true road game.
Right.
Is that tougher on the road?
You know, we have checks. You know, it's not as hard probably in the special teams game as it is on offense and defense because of all the checks. But we have certain things we've got to check. We got to have hand signals. You got to have, you know, everybody locked in and focused. You know, especially in the punt game. So, yeah, it's a part of it. Yeah.
You look at the stats and see that Antonio Allen had a great game. Did he have as good a game as it appeared?
He played very well. He had really kind of one, maybe two plays where he didn't do exactly what we asked him to do, but productivity-wise, 16 tackles, 2 fumbles, 2 recovered fumbles. He had a great game.